Seconders are not required, so it's just one nomination. Election is required. It'll be by secret ballot. The ballots will be counted by the scrutineers, which are myself and Christine Lee, our Associate Superintendent of Business and Operations. And then I will declare the winner, and the elected board chair will assume the chair and chair the meeting, and then the board chair will call for a motion to destroy the ballots. Does that make sense on the process? So again, there'll be 3 calls for nominations. If you nominate somebody, you have an opportunity to speak about that nomination, and then once that's done, we'll get into the election. Okay? Yes.
Could we just maybe get agreement on the actual the ballots? Majority of the ballot, if you receive, like, let's say it's a 4-3, the person with 4 would be then elected chair. So it's majority of the ballot. And if there's, let's say there's 3 or 4 people running, and we have, let's say, let's see if a 2, 2, and a 3. Oh no, that doesn't work. 2, 2, and or a 3, 3, 1 or something. Yes, thank you. A 3, 3, 1. A 3, 3, 1. Then the 1 would drop out, and then we'd have another ballot for the 2 tied. And then if at the end of that there's still a tie, then we flip a coin. Is everybody okay with that process before we get started? Agreement? It's 3, 2, 2. Then the 3 has got the majority, right? The highest votes. Sorry, highest votes.
So you can be elected board chair without a 4 majority of the board?
Do you want, we can do highest votes, or we can do majority of the board? It doesn't say in it does not say in our rules.
It does,
Really?
It does in policy.
Okay, well, listen.
Policy does.
Does the policy say that?
Yeah. Can I?
Yeah.
Policy 204.6 organizational meetings. It says if a position is contested by more than 2 candidates, a majority of the board is required to determine the successful candidate. So the leading candidate does not, if the leading candidate does not receive majority support, so they would need 4.
Yeah. You need 4.
A second ballot will be held between the 2 candidates receiving the most votes in the first ballot.
Okay. Very good.
In the case of ties, it says refer to regulation 5.3, and I believe that's the one that says toss of a coin.
That's the one with the toss of the coin. Okay, so majority of the board. So you have to have 4 to become board chair. Yes, if it came down to that. Yeah. That means somebody didn't vote, though. No, I want to make sure everybody's we're clear on the rules. That's all. Yeah, majority. You need 4 votes to win.
So if it's 3-2-2, then how do we decide out of the 2-2? Or do we just keep voting?
I would think we'd vote again.
Okay.
You okay with that?
This is what it says. It says if a tie, candidates who are tied will be provided the opportunity to withdraw. If a tie still exists, a ballot will be conducted involving those candidates who are tied. If a tie still exists, the secretary treasurer, that's you, gets to flip the coin. It actually doesn't say gets to flip the coin, but I summarized that part.
Jenny, just let's make sure we've got that policy. I'm just looking at it now. What was the policy number again?
204.6 for organizational meetings.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Can you pull that up on screen?
stream. And we're going to get back to the meeting. Okay, and so we will make sure we have all of that organized and ready to go by the time we are doing our election. But for now, we can certainly get through the nomination process. So again, just to review, I'm going to call for nominations, and I'll do a first call of nominations, second call of nominations, third call of nominations. So if we're ready to go, I'm going to do the first call for nominations for board chair for Lethbridge School Division for the 2024-2025 year. Andrea.
It's my pleasure to nominate Alison Purcell as chair. Anyone who sees her work ethic knows her passion for the children of our division and the staff of our division. She advocates strongly for our division and is always happy to lend a listening ear. And for those reasons, I would like to nominate Alison Purcell.
Thank you, Andrea. We're still in first call for nominations. So if there's anyone who'd like to do a nomination, Jenny, go ahead.
I'll nominate Craig Whitehead. He has a desire to lead us in that role, and I'd like to support him in that desire and recognize his strength in striving always to do what is best for students and what is best for the division, and his experiences that he's had that bring a perspective to the table, having been on a previous board in another division and having acted as a teacher for several years. He's able to give us the wisdom of age as well. And I would like to support him in that desire and nominate him.
Thank you, Jenny. We're still in the first call for nominations. Yeah, Tyler or Christina? Tyler.
Just a point of order, I believe, once they're nominated, they have to either accept or decline the nomination.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll go back. Allison, do you accept the nomination? Okay. Craig, do you accept the nomination? Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Tyler. Christina.
Same as last year. Just want to give credit to our current chair and say thank you to Allison. And at the same time, want to nominate Christine Light for chair of our board. Our board is made up of many different leaders and all with different strengths. And with Christine, I see a strength that would help us finish out the term of this board's term to complete a number of our projects that we have on the go that I feel are well matched with the skills that Christine brings with her experience, as well as her passions and efficacy in governance and leadership. And so I'm honored to nominate Christine.
Great, thank you. Christine, would you accept that nomination?
I do.
Wonderful, thank you. We're still in first call for nominations. Okay, looks like that's everyone. We'll go into our second call for nominations. Second call for a nomination. Okay, we will go into our third call for nominations. Third and final call for nominations for board chair. Okay, seeing none, the nominations are closed. And so now what we'll do is we'll give an opportunity to for the nominees to speak and share anything they'd like to speak or share anything they'd like to share. And we'll just go in the order that they were nominated in. So Allison, we'll start with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea, for the nomination. I appreciate the support. So I would be honored to be able to continue to lead the board over the course of the next year. I feel that we have made great, slow but steady progress over the course of the last few years, ensuring that voices are being heard and that decisions are made based on what we feel is best for our students, their families, and staff. We have a big last year ahead of us, and I would like to continue my leadership to encourage each of us to step up when necessary for us to ensure we are making progress towards people feeling heard and valued. We have had some challenges over the last year and previous years, and I have been able to guide us through those with each of you and with our superintendent. I have ensured to represent our board and the decisions we have made as I continue to advocate for our students, families, and staff. I've built and maintained relationships with key stakeholders and partners and will continue to do so to lead our division with the direction we wish to go. I would appreciate your support for board chair this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Now we will turn it over to Craig for his opportunity to speak.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Jenny, for the nomination. I'm one that believes that we should always be looking at ways to improve leadership within an organization. And by having the same people in leadership roles doesn't help engender that development of leadership among the trustees. And that's one of the reasons that I've chosen to let my name stand for board chair. I truly believe that we need to learn how to inspire leadership among each trustee, take in their viewpoint, and always listen. Even though we may choose to disagree, we need to do it respectfully. And that would be one of the things that I promise to do. I think it's important that we make sure that we represent all of the students in this division and all of the families. And I feel that I'm qualified to do that. Having been a trustee in another division, plus a teacher that's had experience in teaching a number of minority students, I understand the problems that are faced by our students and our staff and our families. And I think that this would be a good opportunity to start to look forward, and that's why I've chosen to lead as hopefully as the next board chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. And now we'll turn it over to Christine.
Thanks, Mike, and thank you, Christina, for your nomination this year. It would be a pleasure and an honor to serve our board and our division as board chair. I am a leader who serves with integrity and transparency. I am pragmatic, forthright, and a clear communicator, and I believe every voice should be heard around this table and within our division. We are here to serve all students and give them a path and environment to find success in their learning. And I wholeheartedly stand behind the values that we hold high as a board and as a division. Those values of learning, inclusion, respect, well-being, and leadership. And in our role as governors, this is done through policy, procedure, and process. And for our board to be effective leaders in creating sustainable, positive change, we must function within these parameters. When we don't, we create dysfunction and we're counterintuitive to the goals that we are striving for. I support and champion the priorities of the board, and I know that we have had challenges over the past couple of years, but we've also had some successes. We are working hard to advocate for fully funded kindergarten, and we will bring that forward in the fall. I represent the board positively and professionally, and I represent our division and its staff with pride. I believe we have an incredible division with an amazing community of students, staff, and families. As we head into this, our senior year as our board, I'm really excited to see the legacy work that we're going to be completing. I think our diversity has been our challenge, but our diversity has also been our strength. And so I think we are going to leave an incredible mark on this division, and it would be my honor to serve as board chair as we leave that flag for the next board to come and leave this division a better and stronger place. Thank you.
So Christine is going to provide you with a ballot. You'll fold it up. We'll come around and collect them. And then Christine and I will go and count the ballots, and then we'll come back to you and let you know what the results are. Okay, so we did not get a majority. So none of the candidates received a majority. So as we read through, we have one candidate that got the most number of votes, and then we have two candidates that are tied. Would be interested in hearing the board's perspective. Our view is that we have a conversation here publicly, and we're going to say, here's the person that had the most votes. Here are the two people that are tied. They have an opportunity to withdraw. If they don't withdraw, then there is a vote between the two of them. And then whoever wins that vote then comes back and we have another vote for between the top vote getter and the second place person. Does that make sort of sense? My first question to the board is, I assume that we're comfortable, we don't need to go into camera and have a conversation. We will do our best to keep things as generic as possible because we want it to be a secret ballot, but also we need to be open and transparent and go through that process. So we're in a little bit of a weird situation here. So what I'm seeing around the room is comfort with us having the conversation, and we'll say who the top vote getter was and then who the two candidates are that are tied, and then we'll go through the process from there. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, awesome. So Christine Light was the top vote getter, and then Allison and Craig are tied. So, and again, please stop me if this doesn't make sense. You all have in front of you the rules for the organizational meeting. So if you see something procedurally that doesn't quite seem right to you, then let's stop and make sure. We want to make sure that our process is good. But again, Christine and I, our interpretation is that what happens now is Allison and Craig have either of them have an opportunity to withdraw. If they choose not to, then we will do a vote between the two of them, and then whomever wins that vote will then there'll be another vote with Christine and that person. That makes sense? Okay. Awesome. I'll give everybody just another kind of 30 seconds to read through things here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Craig.
If there's another vote, then everybody votes on the two people?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we will be doing the vote now, and so the vote is, sorry, we'll give Craig and Allison an opportunity to withdraw. So I'll just ask each of you if you'd like to withdraw or you'd like to let your name stand. Craig, would you like to withdraw or let your name stand? Okay, Allison, would you like to withdraw or let your name stand? Okay, Okay, and the results of the runoff vote were that Craig Whitehead won the runoff vote. So that means that our next vote will be between Christine Light and Craig Whitehead for board chair. Okay, everyone. Like to just welcome you back, and I'd like to say congratulations to Christine Light for being elected as a board chair. Congratulations, Christine. Now what I believe happens is you take over chairing of the meeting.
Well, thank you, everyone. That was a unique process, and I appreciate the support around the table, and I look forward to serving as board chair. And Allison, I truly want to say your strength is your passion and your ability and your strength and advocacy. And that is something that I have seen in you um, from the beginning of my tenure. You are a fierce advocate for students. You are a fierce advocate for parents and staff, and I know that that is going to continue. And I just want to thank you for the 3 years of leadership and advocacy that you have modeled as board chair. Thank you. Now, may I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please? Andrea? Thank you. All in favor? So carried. Thank you. Okay, next we move on to approval of the agenda. Are there any changes that need to be made? And if not, may I have a motion to approve, please? Christina? All in favor? So carried. Okay, now we have the election of our vice chair. So what we will do is we will now call for nominations for the office of vice chair to hold office during the pleasure of the board. We will have our first call for nominations. Tyler.
I would like to nominate Christina Larkin for vice chair.
Thank you, Tyler. Christina, do you accept the nomination? You do. Thank you. Still first call for nominations for vice chair. Andrea.
I would like to nominate Allison Purcell for vice chair.
Thank you, Thank you, Andrea. Allison, do you accept? Okay. Any further nominations for vice chair? Second, oh, Craig.
I nominate Jenny Steed for
Okay.
vice chair.
Thank you, Craig. Jenny, do you accept the nomination?
I'll accept. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you. Second call for nominations. Third call for nominations. All right, nominations are closed. This is also decided by secret ballot, but before we hand out the ballots, I will allow the nominees to speak. So Christina, you were nominated first, and so you can have the microphone.
Thank you. Over the last few years, it's been a really interesting and wonderful learning experience to be part of this board. I have many years of governance experience and care very deeply about the way we manage the structures of our public institutions, like education. And in that time, I've also been at what was at the time when I first started on the board, a new leadership position in a large community organization, and have over the years really developed my skills in understanding how to manage the complexities of large organizations, both of this board and in our community. And so I feel like this is the right year for me to offer those skills to this board and to our community, which I think would offer support both to our chair, but also to this board and the various initiatives of our board and our goals for this year. Including around our policies, around our committees, around our advocacy, and would be bringing with me the advocacy and passion that I feel like I have shown in my time here to support the young people in our division and try to raise up their voices in particular, while also supporting our staff and our parents on the issues that matter to us all as a community to try to make us a strong place for students and a strong place for our community. So happy to let my name stand because I feel like I have a little bit more to offer in this term and would love to do so.
Excellent. Thank you, Christina. Allison.
I don't really have much to add from before, but thank you for the nomination, Andrea. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Allison. And Jenny.
Thank you for the nomination, Craig. I appreciate the opportunity to have my name out there. I was able to serve as vice chair the year before the one that or last, and learned a lot in that year, and enjoyed that learning opportunity and growth and further understanding of processes, and I would look forward to continuing in that growth and understanding, and supporting the work that we've been doing as a board, and that we've been working alongside the division to achieve and to accomplish our priorities, and to work toward the goals that we've set and the priorities we've outlined, and have appreciated the opportunity to work alongside and each of the board members in here, and would be happy to participate in that leadership and support role if it pleases the board. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Christine Lee is now handing out the ballots. So again, it's a majority decision. Should there not be a majority, we will move through the process that we just moved through.
Okay, everybody. Oh, actually, well, yeah, I guess it has to be me. I was gonna say you're chairing the meeting, but you don't have the information, so you can't share the information. Okay, everyone. And again, as always, please scrutinize if you think we're missing something, but we've been through it once already, so we probably have the process down. So we did get a situation where nobody got a majority of the votes. And so we'll go with the same process. We'll share with you who is the top vote getter. Then there'll be two people that are tied. Those two people will have an opportunity to either withdraw or we'll have a runoff election. And then the winner of that will go, we'll have another vote for the vice chair with Christina. Okay. Sorry, Christina, you were the top vote getter. And then Allison and Jenny were tied. Okay, so Allison and Jenny, you have the opportunity to withdraw or let your name stand, and we'll have another vote. So I will just start with Allison first. Would you like to withdraw or let your name stand? Okay. Jenny, withdraw or let your name stand?
I'll let it stand.
Okay. So just to be clear, we will be having the vote is between Allison and Jenny for the runoff vote, and then we'll have another vote between Christina and the winner of this runoff vote. So your choices right now are Allison or Jenny.
All good. All good. Might want to make it look like this.
You ready, Gert? Okay, and just to give you the results, Jenny did win the runoff. So that means that we will have Jenny and Christina will be the choices for the vice chair. We will be voting on that now, okay? Okay, so we have a tie. because we did have a ballot that didn't have a name on it. So we did have a tie. And so, you know, our understanding is we need to go through the tiebreaker procedure again, which is withdrawal, an opportunity to withdraw. If a tie still exists, we will have another vote. And then if the tie continues to exist, then there will be a coin flip.
My question would be, is a trustee allowed to abstain from voting? Because I'm not sure that's a thing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I don't know if a trustee can abstain from voting on these matters.
Well, you're not supposed to abstain from voting, but they voted, they just didn't write the right name down. It wasn't a name.
Can I have clarification as to how a lack of a name is not abstaining when you're called to write a name? Craig and then Jenny.
It would be my understanding that this would be no different than any vote taken by the board. And it specifically says that we can't abstain in a vote. The board can't, nobody on the board can abstain on a vote. So I would say that that person has to vote. And that, and I guess what would boil down to, if it's abstained again, then we might have to go into in camera and have a big discussion.
Thank you, Craig. Jenny.
I just was, I mean, I'm not sure, but I think you would technically call that a spoiled ballot, and I don't know what the process would be.
It is a spoiled ballot, and that's
Yeah.
why it's a tie.
Yeah.
And the question is, can you spoil a ballot? Are you required to put the right name down?
Allison.
So being that we are a board of 7 and policy states that there could be a tie, even if it comes down to picking between your 2 candidates, it would be a coin flip, right? So would you not go on to that?
I would like to stay on whether or not a person is allowed to not vote. I think we need to settle that first. Of course, we can move on to the process of that. Perhaps can we pull up the policy that talks about voting and our responsibility to vote within a board meeting? I can't remember the number of that, Christine. Did you know? And when we have it, we will try to put it up on the screen so we can all see. Right, thank you for your patience as we studied into this. In the Education Act, Board Procedures Regulation 8, Sections 1 and 2 states, all resolutions must be submitted to a board by the chair of the board or a trustee, and no seconder is required. 8.2, the chair of the board and every trustee present at a meeting of the board must vote for or against every question unless A, in a specific case, the chair or trustee is excused by resolution of the board from voting, or B, the chair of the board or a trustee has a pecuniary interest in the matter and abstains from voting as required by Section 88(1) of the Act. As A and B are not in existence in this meeting, spoiled or an empty ballot is not a vote. And so what we will be doing as a board is we will be going forward with the second vote for vice chair. And that is between Jenny and Christina.
Okay. And just to let you know that congratulations to Jenny. Jenny won the vote and is the vice chair for the 2024-2025 school year.
Jenny, would you like to say a few words?
I didn't want to speak out of turn, but I wanted to say thank you. And I look forward to working with you. So thank you for your support from the board. I know that any one of the people in this room have a great capacity to serve and to lead. And I'm grateful for your vote of confidence, and I look forward to this next year and all the fresh beginnings that come with a new year, and to all that we're going to accomplish this year. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Can I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please? Craig,
I move to destroy the ballots.
thank you. All approved? Thank you. Okay, on to approval of bank borrowing resolution. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I crossed it off one too soon. I saw the vice chair. Number 5, alternate rotating vice chair. Craig has put forward a memo. Craig, would you like to speak to this?
Yes, I would. At the last meeting in June, I brought forth that motion that's on everybody's thing, and it was requested that I come back with more in-depth information. So created a page, and if you look at it, the duties and responsibilities of the alternate vice chair. The duties of the alternate vice chair are the same as the vice chair. The alternate vice chair will work with the chair when the vice chair is absent. If the chair is absent, the alternate vice chair will work with the vice chair. The alternate vice chair will work with the chair, the vice chair, and the superintendent in developing agendas for the committee of the whole and the board meetings. The alternate vice chair will be rotated among the trustees who would like to be in that position. This will allow for mentoring and leadership training for other trustees, and they will be in this position for 3 months. There will be no remuneration for this position. I think that clarifies the role of that alternate vice chair. And it's not going to be forced on anybody. Anybody on the board that would like to take their turn can so do. And I think it's just a way of dispersing the leadership. Plus, I've looked at a couple of other boards, and one of the boards, they don't have an alternating vice chair, but they do have a designated trustee to help plan the agenda with the board chair and the vice chair. I know another division has an alternate vice chair. So I think it's just a good way of distributing leadership on our board and giving everybody that would like an opportunity to learn more about the duties and the role and learning how to do those things. So hopefully we can get a majority to support that.
Thank you, Craig. I will open this up for discussion.
If we do vote this through, and people took 3-month turns, if there was a period where nobody wanted to take a 3-month turn, is that acceptable to this?
If someone didn't want to take their turn, then I think we would just go back to those that have taken their turn and see if they'd like to do another 3 months, not consecutively, but like if we had 3 people and they did 3, 3, and 3, and then the other 2 people don't want to do it, then we would just go back and have someone of the first 3 to do it. So we would always have a vice chair, an alternating vice chair, as far as I can see.
Tyler.
For me, I like it as an idea. I don't know that the timing is right, being this as the last year of our board. Because this is the last year of this board, I'm not interested in participating, so I wouldn't participate in it. I really feel as though there's one other trustee who feels the same way and is not going to participate in it. So that's two of the 5 right there. So I think for me, it makes more sense to have this and bring it forward to the next board when it's elected, because you're kind of missing 2 of the people it would affect right now, 2 of the 5. But your choice. I'm not against it. I won't be participating. But if you guys want to bring it in, that's fine. But for me, I don't know. It seems like it would be a better fit for the next board to determine that and how that works logistically for the next 4 years.
Thanks, Tyler. Jenny.
My comment is along those same lines of just being mindful of obligating the next board to come in the next election. And so my request would be, I like the idea of it. Having been elected to vice chair, I can't participate directly in it, but I really was excited about the idea of it previously. And so my thought would be is perhaps we would make it as an optional position or a temporary trial run or something along those lines, so that if there's not a trustee that wants to do it, we can have that gap of those 3 months where nobody is doing it. And so that we aren't obligating the next board to fill this extra role that we've created.
Craig.
The one, and of course, this isn't forced on anybody, but the one concern I have is that even if it's late in the year, if we keep saying, well, let the new board do it, let the new board do it, there could be a possibility that we have 7 new board members. We don't know how the election's going to go. We don't know how many are going to run again or how many aren't going to run. We don't know how the vote will go. I see this as a way to set in place an opportunity that no matter who sits on the board of trustees, there's leadership opportunities. I can go along with if only 3 of us want to do it, and for after 9 months, if there's no one there, that's fine. We don't have to have it. But at least we've created the position of alternate vice chair, and we've allowed some of the trustees to get their feet wet as far as leadership and designing, developing agendas in that. So I think it's a valuable thing. I've had the opportunity to be an alternate vice chair at one time, and it was a very good learning experience for me because I learned how much communication has to go on between the board chair and the chair and the superintendent in developing these things. And I think it would be a shame if we didn't give that opportunity to other trustees. And I appreciate Tyler's comment because if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I do think if we have it in place, then it helps the new board, whoever will be on that new board, in their organization of the trustees.
Allison.
So Chair, I haven't heard if there's a motion on the floor or not, and so to question what the motion actually is regarding. When I read the recommendation, it says to move to create the position of alternate vice chair on a 3-month basis. So I'm just curious if it's that we would vote in for a vice chair today or an alternating vice chair, or if it's just the creation of the position, because I do feel that there's still a lot more work to be done on this, and that it's, from my perspective, it's not something ready for us to be voting on a alternating vice chair at this position at this point.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate that. I agree. I opened to discussion before putting the motion forward. I apologize for that. Craig, I do want to say thank you for bringing this forward. I think there is good potential. When I look at our division and our board, I do believe as a board, we have ample opportunity for leadership, both on executive through all of our committees. Many of us, I think all of us have chaired a committee, and in that, we do create agenda planning. There is definitely a benefit of sitting with the chair and the vice chair and the superintendent and learning in that process. I would be in agreement with Allison. I'm not opposed, but I don't feel like it's ready to move forward yet. But I would support a motion to further explore and kind of hammer down some of the details. For example, your recommendation that you have in your memo as I move to create the position of alternate chair, vice chair on a 3-month basis. To me, it's not explicit of it. Would that be a continuing? Is it just for a 1 month? Is it for one person? What is the process? And I think one question I had is, can you repeat it? And you stated not consecutively, but I think we need those details. We need those details in here. So I would be ready to hear a motion and then continue conversation if necessary.
I move to create the position of alternate vice chair on a rotational basis of 3 months each time.
Thank you. Any further conversation? I call to vote. Oh, sorry, Jenny. Sorry, Jenny.
Craig, would you entertain what would hopefully be a friendly amendment for the 2024 to 2025 school year for this position? I'm just hesitant to obligate the incoming next board to hold the same position. That's my thought on that.
I would have to think about that. I would be willing, excuse me, if we wanted to create an ad hoc committee to look at this to get more information and development of it, to present it at the September or October board meeting, I could be amenable to that if someone wants to make a motion to that effect. I would substitute that motion, but I do think it's important that we put in place certain things for an upcoming board. And by not doing something now, we just hinder the process. And so if the chairperson feels that I can, if we have an agreement to study it out, I'll switch the motion and substitute that one, but I'm not going to substitute it if there's no agreement on to look further at it. And that's an important part that I think is in that you've expressed, Allison's expressed. So I feel if the majority wouldn't want to do that way, then I'll reword the motion.
Jenny and then Tyler.
I can appreciate that, and I'm happy to rescind the proposed amendment.
New amendment. Friendly amendment. I think if we just say that we want to create the position of alternate vice chair and just kind of leave it at that without the 3 months in it and everything. And then because in the creation of that, the details will flow. So if by board motion, we're going to create this, the details will flow out of that. So I think if that's the motion, then I think you've got what you need. And then the details come forward, we approve the details of it at some point.
I can accept that as a friendly amendment, sorry.
Okay, so the motion is before us to create the alternate vice chair. And Craig, are you wanting to create a subcommittee? I know you were tasked with bringing this information forward to the organizational meeting. Are you needing a subcommittee, or is this work you can do?
I think that this is something that we could probably do in committee of the whole once in a while, just to have a discussion amongst all of us, so that I'm not just doing everything. I would rather hear some people's outlook on this. I'm amenable to that. I don't want a committee, but we can discuss it. As Tyler says, we can pull out the details as it comes along.
Okay, the motion is on the table. Any further discussion? Allison.
I know you had said about an ad hoc committee, and now I've heard the committee of the whole. I do look ahead at our year in front of us, and I think that there's a lot that we have to cover, and our committee of the wholes over the last year have been very busy. Policy work is a major part of what we're doing, and I am concerned if it's going to be that it's an ad hoc committee or at committee of the whole, that's a lot of extra work that we may not be able to get to things that might be more pressing or more important for the students of our division.
Craig, and then we'll have to wrap this up.
Yes. I don't think it'll actually add extra to it, because once we create the position, according to the motion, we would have to look at how we can put it into policy, because it's a governance procedure, a government policy. So as we're doing our policies, that gives us ample time to develop the details of an alternate vice chair. So I don't see any extra time or effort put forth other than just our regular business.
Okay, I would be hesitant to commit our committee of the whole time. I think you you brought this up in June. You had the summer to work on it, and you brought your information. I think there's just some tweaks that need to happen. I don't think it needs a fulsome hours-long necessary conversation to it. I would be amenable to your working with the vice chair and myself. We can tighten this up, and then you can present to the board. I think we can do that rather than taking valuable committee of the whole time, if you would be amenable to that.
I can live with that.
Do you have the motion written?
The motion might move by Craig is to create the position of alternative vice chair. Alternate vice chair.
Thank you. All right, all in favor? And opposed? Thank you. It is carried. Okay, approval of bank borrowing resolution. It's recommended that the board approve the following resolution to establish a line of credit with the Royal Bank of Canada to provide interim financing during the year 2024-2025, pending receipt of government grants. And the motion is as follows, that the board approve the 2024-2025 bank borrowing resolution in the amount of $500,000 to finance the operation of the school division as required, pending receipt of government funding, and that a copy of this resolution be appended to the minutes of this meeting. Do we have a motion? Christina, all in favor? So carried. Thank you. All right, we move on to approval of signing authority. It would be necessary for the board to approve the following resolution, that the bank signing authority be the board chair or the vice chair and the secretary treasurer, or in their absence, the director of finance, with the exception that for the purpose of signing checks, the signing authority shall be the superintendent of schools and the secretary treasurer and the director of finance. And further, that the board authorize the bank to establish an overdraft lending agreement, which has been duly executed by the proper officers of the board when loans are required. Do I have a motion to approve this? Craig, all in favor? So carried. Thank you. All right, committee reports in terms of reference. So at year end, committee reports in terms of references will be reviewed at the September 24th, 2024 regular board meeting. Changes to terms of reference, mandate, membership, and/or remuneration of committees will occur at the September 24th, 2024 regular board meeting if necessary. So this is just your reminder. If you have not completed your reports, they're coming up. All right, now we're going to get to committee appointments. You all have a list of the committees before you, I believe. Oh, thank you, Tina. Tina has put them up. And there's also a list provided of who held them for the 2023-2024 school year. And so we will just move through the committees. Yeah, and we will see who would like to sit on these committees. All right, Board Audit Committee. Oh, Christine.
Sorry, just point of information, so you're aware when you're making your decision. We have 2 meetings already established for that committee because we're starting audit right away. September 16th at 3 p.m. and November 20th at 3 p.m. So just if you're planning to be on that committee, so you're aware.
Thank you, Christine. Jenny.
I just was going to point out for accuracy's sake that policy advisory, oh, sorry, never mind. I thought I caught a mistake. That was actually my mistake. So.
Perfect. Okay, so currently Tyler and myself sit on the Board Audit Committee. Are there individuals interested in sitting on this committee? I am fine to stay on this committee. Jenny?
I'd be willing to sit on this committee.
Nope. You've got it. Yep, you've got it. And who would like to chair this committee? Tyler's chair. Thank you. Board Budget Committee. Christina? And Andrea? Okay. Christine?
I assume we will still likely do the full board thing that this board has wanted, but I would like to stay.
Thank you. Andrea, you're interested in staying. Is there anyone else interested in this committee? Okay,
I'm interested in going on it, but I'm fine with them both being on it. So just if we get to others and it's.
of course. No,
Like,
for sure.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Would you like to have a conversation now? No? Okay. Okay, so we will have Christina and Andrea, and who'd like to serve as chair of this committee? Christina, thank you. Community Engagement Committee.
I've done this for the last few years, 2 years, and it's been a good experience. And I've got lots of notes from the last couple of years ready to go. I would be interested in moving off of this committee just because I've done it for a few years and it's a good one for the board. So if someone else would like it, you will be well prepared. I have so many notes.
Andrea? Would anyone else like to join Andrea on the Community Engagement Committee? It's true. Andrea, I will join you. Andrew, would you be willing to chair this committee? Absolutely. Okay, Division Wellness Committee. It is currently Tyler and Christina.
I would like to step down if someone else would like to come up.
Okay. You would like to stay? Christina would like to stay? Is there someone else who is interested in the Division Wellness Committee? Does anybody need information on the Wellness Committee? Yes?
Just need dates.
Oh, of
or an
course.
Idea. of
Mark, you have dates.
We do have dates for that already set.
Yeah, we have October 7th, January 13th. I was just writing them down because I thought some of you might ask. And then I believe the last one's in May. I'll just check here. Yeah. October 7th, January 13th. Just looking for it here. That's okay. It's June 2nd. Mhm. We could always arrange or change the last date. Sometimes we don't have. Thank you.
And who would like to chair that committee? Andrea? Thank you, Andrea. All right, next we have Facilities Committee. It's currently Jenny and Tyler.
I'm happy to stay, or unless there's other eagerness for it.
Okay, Allison?
I'd like to go on it if there's space.
Okay. Is anyone else interested?
I'm happy to let you finish, or remain, sorry.
Finish.
Yeah.
Okay,
You go for it.
thanks, Jenny. Allison and Tyler, who would like to chair that committee? Tyler can.
Yes.
We do have a facilities committee scheduled for October 15th, 11:30 to 1, and we will actually be extending an invite to the whole board because we have a presentation we would like you to see. So you will get that shortly. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Christine. All right, next we have our Indigenous Education Advisory Committee. Currently, it is myself and Andrea. Yes, please. One is the 25th of September, I
Yeah,
think.
coming up right away here in Reconciliation Week, and then January 22nd and May 28th.
Jenny.
I have an interest, but I do have a conflict for the 25th. So if there's others who are interested,
Okay.
then I'm happy to.
Okay, Andrew would like to stay. You have conflict too? I'm interested in staying in, but how about Jenny? I can come in for the 25th and you can, shall we put your name in?
It's okay. You can, if you're interested in staying, then I'm happy to
Okay.
join other committees.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I think for that one, we
Yeah.
said that the consistency.
All
is
are- yeah.
valuable, yeah.
Yep. Andrew, would you like to chair that committee or would you like me to chair that committee? Of course. Yep, absolutely. I can do that. Next, we have Policy Advisory Committee. It's currently Jenny and myself. Jenny?
I would be happy to stay if there's not other interest.
Okay. Is there anyone else interested in policy? Christina? Great. And who would like to chair this committee? Okay, Christina, thank you. Poverty Intervention Committee. There's currently myself and Jenny. And no dates have been made. So far, a clean slate. It's a great committee that supports students in need, increasing capacity and awareness of division community members, staff, families of the supports that we offer.
I'd be happy to, I love that committee, but
Okay,
I feel like I'm always like, I love it. So
I know.
if other people also want to love it, but
We want
I
everyone
would be
to love
delighted
it.
to be back on it. But
Okay, thank you. All right, I can remain on that committee. Would you like to chair or would you like me to chair? Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, we have our School Boundary Alignment Committee. Currently, that is Craig, myself, and Allison.
I'd like to stay on that committee.
Okay. Tyler?
I would just suggest that one doesn't change.
Okay.
There's been a lot of work in the background
Yeah.
on that one, but if someone really wants out, that's fine, or you can't do it, but I would suggest that stay the same.
Thank you. I can support that. Allison?
I'd like to stay on it.
Okay. Thank you. And who would like to chair this committee? Okay. Spirit of 51 Committee. Currently, it is Andrea and Christina. Tyler?
Looking to come back. But if you guys want to stay, you're not, okay,
you have a project and you
Yep.
go back.
okay,
Tyler and Andrea?
go back, yeah.
Okay.
First meeting is at 10 a.m.
All right, September 26th, 10 a.m., first meeting. And who would like to chair this committee?
Want to chair?
Andrea, thank you. And then our last standing committee, the Superintendent Evaluation Committee. It is currently Allison, myself, and Craig. Craig,
I'd like to stay on that.
okay?
I'm
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
need to look.
stipulates.
Oh, thank you. All right. The three of us, Jenny, Christine, and Craig. Thanks, Christine. And do I chair that? I chair that automatically. Okay. Thank you. All right, we have our special ad hoc committees now. First up is our ATA negotiating committee. It is currently Craig and Allison.
I'd
Craig.
like to stay on that.
Okay. Allison?
Ditto.
Okay. Anyone up to challenge? No? And who would like to chair this committee? Craig, are you good with that, Allison? Okay, we have QP 290 negotiating committee. It is currently Christina and Andrea. We're good to keep that the same? Who would like to chair this committee? Christina, thank you. QP 2843 negotiating committee. It is currently Tyler and myself. We good to stay the same?
Yes.
Excellent. I can chair. Okay, and I will chair that meeting. The expulsion committee is 2 trustees as needed, so we do not put our names in at this time. Next, non-union staff committee. It is currently myself and Jenny.
I'm happy to stay unless there's other interest.
Okay. Is anyone else interested?
If someone wants to step down, I'm willing to do it too, but if you're happy with doing it, I'm fine with it.
I can go either way. So if you would like to sit on it.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So we have Jenny and Craig. And who would like to chair that committee?
I guess I will.
Okay. We have our policy review committee. Oh, no. Yes. It's the whole board. Okay. It threw me
Yes.
off, Mike.
Just to note that the note that's in there is from previous year. That's not current year note. So there isn't a discussion going to be happening in September 26th. So yeah.
Thank you. I was just reading down the list. I'm like, nope, that one is not correct. Okay. Now we will move on to our ATA working conditions committee. It is currently Craig and Christina. Does anyone want working conditions?
She is enthusiastic.
Turn your mic on.
I'm happy to step down this year. I think it's actually an important one to rotate, to
Sure.
give lots of connection to lots of different trustees.
Okay.
I do.
Andrea?
I do.
Okay. Allison?
I'd like to as well.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I have Andrea and Allison. Who would like to chair this committee?
I guess I am.
Okay, Allison, thank you. City School Boards Committee is currently Allison and Jenny. This is a committee I would appreciate attending. Allison?
Can I just speak to it?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Please do.
So I had sent an update near the end of the summer, just in regards to something that had happened over the summer where the city SPC committee met, and their recommendation that's before them is to disband this committee. So I did present to City Council SPC in the summer, along with a number of other organizations that were also being disbanded their committees or reorganized what they looked like. So right now, the first meeting for this committee is already in place for October 30th. I think it's October 30th. And what is before us is that on October 24th is that the SPC is going to be hearing all the committees that are being disbanded or changed, rationale for why they, if they have anything that they'd like to say in regards to this. So as much as we can assign committee members, there is a lot of, not a lot, there's some pre-work that needs to happen to get to that point. And there is another meeting on September 30th as well in regards to just some plans to prepare for the presentation. So, so September 30th at 5 p.m. and then October 30th from 9 to 11 is the scheduled joint city meeting. So just wanted to add those pieces.
Thank you, Allison. Okay, are you, oh, sorry, Jenny.
I can step down off that one if you are wanting to have a position on there. Is that one that requires the board chair?
I don't think it does. Let me look.
It doesn't require.
It does.
We've just, I think, historically said
It
that
does
that
make
makes the
sense.
most sense.
I
So,
think
yeah.
as board chair, it'd be important for you to be there. And so if Allison is looking to remain, I can step down.
Okay. Allison, are you willing to stay?
I'm willing to stay, but I've been on it every single year. So if somebody else is wanting to, I can help provide the information, but it's a great experience to be able to go and engage with other stakeholders in our community. So
Christina?
I'd be interested, but I don't want to take one away if you want to stay on it. So it's up to you. Do you prefer to stay?
no, you can do
Is
it.
it okay?
You're good.
Okay. I would like to.
Christina?
Mhm.
Okay. Who would you like to chair this committee? I will chair this committee. Okay. And next we have Economic Development Lethbridge. And Holy Spirit School Division is liaison for the next upcoming year. So it'll be our turn in the 2025-2026 school year. And the last 6, ASBA appointment of board representatives. So we have ASBA Zone 6. Do we have someone willing to be our board rep? Craig, would you like to continue doing that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. PSBA A. I always want to say 1A. Craig. All right, thank you, Craig. Division School Council. Meets the first Monday of every month. Jenny.
I've done this one for the last 2 years consecutively, so I'm happy to be there as the rotating role alternate if somebody else is looking for that position.
Thank you. Is someone looking for this?
Just
Craig.
Just a question. On that division school council, would it be possible that we just each take a turn at it? Like 1 month at a time? Because I don't want to commit to it because I do have some Mondays that I'm gone, but I wouldn't mind on if we all took turns of coming there. So I don't know how that works, so.
No, I appreciate that idea. I know it's an idea that has been brought forward a couple of times to this board, and we've leaned into having one representative, but I'm open to that conversation. I think it's a great space for all of us to be connecting with our school council representatives. So I would be open to that, but I'll open up to discussion to see if there's interest of the board in assigning months and choosing months to attend. Jenny?
I know that this past year we had conversation with the division school council members that were present for last year, and I know that the dynamics and people who are there changes with each year, but there was a strong desire for consistency from that council expressed last year. I believe that making changes to this one involves them because it's their council, and so it's their terms of reference. And we are more of a guest at their council. And so I would just communicate back that from the members that were there this past year, they did have a strong desire to have consistency, and the familiarity of one person. If it's not, if it's something that nobody else is able to accommodate in their schedule, I'm willing to remain on. But also willing to be rotating if somebody else wanted to turn.
Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. Tyler?
I think it's important we have someone for consistency on it. It is open to all trustees and all trustees can attend at any time. What we did in prior boards is if, let's say if Craig wanted to attend the meeting on, you know, the November Monday, he could do that. And if he would just let Jenny know, hey, I'm going to be at that meeting that time. If you want, you know, if you want a time off that, I'll be there. I can give the trustee report and do all the things. So I think that works pretty well. And hopefully some trustees will attend and be willing to do that. And then it's not all on one person, but I think it's important we do have somebody responsible in that role. And like Jenny said, it's not really our thing. So I think that's the best way to do it.
Yep. Is there anyone wanting to step into that role? Okay, Jenny, are you willing? And Jenny, if there are Mondays, please reach out to the board and we will have someone come because we do want to represent the board well at Division School Council.
I will try my best to
Okay.
represent the board well.
Thank you. And you do.
No, I joke, but thank you. I do appreciate the work of our Division School Council and all of those school representatives and parents that are giving their time. And so I would be happy to support that work and to be there to represent the board to them and to report back to the board on the work that they're accomplishing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Is there someone that would like to fill in as the alternate? We have alternate right now. As we cannot change that, we'll put a name in here. Craig?
I can put down as an alternate, and then if I have a problem, I'll let someone know.
Great. Thank you so much. Right, Division Student Leadership. Currently, it is Christina. Would you like to stay? All right. Is everyone amenable to Christina staying on that one? Okay. Teachers Employer Bargaining Association.
Since I've been involved and we're having meetings already scheduled, I better stay on to that. And it also works into the being on the ATA negotiation committee.
Okay. Allison.
Just going to say that I would like to have an opportunity to be on it.
Well, we can open this up to discussion. Allison would like opportunity. Craig has been on it. And we can only have one rep. So I will let you both discuss.
If you'd like to, you can take it. You have a meeting 12th at 2:00. Yeah. Robbie can probably send you a link, eh? They've already scheduled all the meetings. So Robbie can send, I can see if I can find them on my Outlook because it's been problematic, but I can forward you all the meetings too.
Thank you, Craig. All right, thank you, Allison. And finally, we have Team Lethbridge. We are scheduled to go to Edmonton November the 5th to the 7th. And it is Allison and myself, along with Mike, our superintendent. We've been going through training, and so for this year, it will need to stay the same as all our information has been passed forward. And this brings us to the end of our organizational meeting. Oh, Allison, thank you.
I just have a question in regards to 7.4.1 and 7.4.6. I don't know if I heard the alternate for both of those.
For ASBA, oh, you're correct. We didn't have an ASBA alternate. I didn't do that. Thank you, Allison. I can be the alternate as I do attend unless there is another individual who'd like to be alternate for Zone 6. Would you like to be the alternate for Zone 6? Can you be the alternate? Okay, well then it is I. It is me. Thanks, Allison. We would have to figure that out because we are the only 3 that typically attend, so I'm not sure.
Do we have to specify an alternative, or we can just say an alternative will be asked for each meeting? Because we meet, and it would be nice if the other trustees had an opportunity to come on a Wednesday, third Wednesday, and see what happens at an ASBA meeting. So if we could do it as a rotational basis, I'm sure that, well, you don't need to, but
No, per the terms that we have to have an alternate. So unless we're going to change the rules of the committee, which I don't want to do right now.
okay.
Just put an alternate up and you're good for now. They don't know any different.
So what was your other one, Allison? Sorry. Oh, thank you. PSBA, my apologies. Craig is our rep. Is there someone who would like to serve as alternate? Allison.
I would like.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that. I appreciate it. Now this brings us to a close for our, oh, Mike.
Sorry to come in at the end. I think as we go into the September meeting, one of the things we need to take a look at is the Policy Review Committee. I'm not 100% sure if that's still a committee that makes sense because we've gone in a bit of a different direction in terms of working on our policies. If I remember correctly, that was brought in last year, I think, and the purpose was to sort of begin some of that work, and that sort of morphed into working with a consultant and the entire board. So I don't think it obviously needs to be decided here, but I think it's just something the board will need to consider for the next meeting.
Yeah. Christine.
It might be something you put to sleep at this time until you've done all your policy work, but you're still going to want to have a review committee because you have to always review your policies.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that along with what Christine and Mike have said, is that it would be kind of not a waste of time, but if they're sitting there on the first day of the month discussing something that we haven't finished doing, then it seems to be a moot point. So I think it would be up to we discussed it at the board meeting, but I think it would be up to, as we get 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 or 6 policies done, then we can convene that committee to look at them and send them out.
Right, and this will be great discussion for our September meeting when that comes forward. Perfect, thank you.
And just for clarification, I'm talking about the Policy Review Committee, not the Policy Advisory Committee. 2 separate committees. So Policy Advisory Committee will continue to meet. Policy Review Committee was a new one. So just clarification for the public, just to make sure.
Thank you, Mike. All right, and now at 4:07, I will adjourn our organizational meeting. Thank you, everyone.